And welcome to Lunch with Jewel. I help entrepreneurs and creators to show up big and connect with their people. Today, we're going to talk about what do you need to do before you get help. Okay. Now, specifically, I'm talking about when you're ready to invest in a coach or a consultant or an online course or any of that. What I've found is that there's one thing that if I were to reflect back on, and I've hired tons of coaches, bought tons of courses and all this kind of stuff, right? I mean, everybody needs help. Nobody's doing anything by themselves. We all need coaches. What's really fortunate is I'm so grateful to be um, at this time in my business in the sense of there's so much information available. Before, I mean, think about people who were in business before there was an internet. I mean, pretty much then what everything is word of mouth and books. And how long do books take to publish? Then you had the internet, and there was a ton of information on the internet. But what I found is that anybody can publish on the internet. So sometimes there's either information overload because there's too much information out there, or different people have different opinions on how to do things. So, you spend tons of hours researching, trying to find answers, and you get like, an answer for every opinion. And so there's so much information out there. Now we've got artificial intelligence. And so now you're getting a better I'm going to say a better format of information, but you still have to tweak it to be what you need it to be. And that is where the key is. The question is, do you know where you need it to be? And so when I look back over the time that I have hired consultants and coaches and courses and all that kind of stuff, the one thing that I wish I had done a better job of is knowing what I needed in that moment. Because what happened to me is that, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm in business, particularly when I was in network marketing, right? And you're all excited and fired up, and you're like, oh, and somebody comes along who knows you're excited and and fired up, and they say, here, this is the thing you need to really blow this thing up, blow this thing out the water. Here's what you need. And you know what? If you hire me, I can show you exactly what you need to do to knock this out the park. And then the emotionalism drives you to make a decision that perhaps business sense wouldn't have made. I don't think there's never been, I don't think there's ever been a course or something like that I invested in that I felt like was a waste of money. But there are courses and coaches and things that I invested in that I felt were not at the right time. And so what happened is, I've signed up for something, but I really wasn't ready for that thing yet because there were 5 other things behind me that were really more important that I needed to focus on. And this thing I invested in was like, down the road. And so either it's down the road and I forget about it, or it's down the road and, I've invested in it and I really needed to invest in something else. Okay. So the one thing you must do before you make a decision to invest in a coach, a consultant, an online course, whatever it is you have got to know your business. You got to know your business. You've got to understand your business. And what I mean by that is, you're not going to know everything, right? There's always going to be somebody out there who knows more about what you're doing than you most of the time. Okay. In the sense that they're not because they're smarter than you, but just because they're further along the path than you. Maybe it's because they've just had more exposure to it than you. They've done more research than you. And so what we get as entrepreneurs when we invest in coaching and courses and things like that is we save time. That's what we're looking to. I'm going to hire this coach because they're going to help me save time, because instead of spending 8 hours or a weekend on the internet researching this thing that I'm not familiar with, and then I quite frankly probably don't want to be familiar with, I'm going to hire this gal or this guy over here who has been down the road, has some experience there. I trust them. I feel like they know what they're talking about. And then I can cut my time in half, right? Okay. So what you need to do is you need to know your business, know yourself, and know your time availability. Okay. So one thing is know your business, right? You need to be able to look at your business and say, and familiarize yourself with the business process. A lot of people that go into business, they're not really even, they're not ready to go into business per se, and they don't really understand what it means to be in business. I didn't. Right. So there's all aspects of being in business. It's not just, oh, I got a good idea. Here it is. And then people just jump on it and buy everything. Not saying that hasn't happened, because it has happened. Okay. But more than likely, you're going to have to go through the same steps that every other business person goes through. You're going to have the same components. You're going to have sales and you're going to have some sales and marketing. You're going to have some production and development. You're going to have some, marketing, sales and marketing. You're going to have that. And so you don't want to be on blinders about it. So you need to have a developed working knowledge of what's required in each of those areas. Don't mean you need to know everything, but you need to have a knowledge. And then you need to be able to take that lens, look at your business and go, okay, you know what? I think the most important thing for my business in this industry I'm in is I need to work on this sales and marketing process. Or you know what? If I sell all that stuff, but I can't deliver it, okay, I need some help over here with production. And then you take that assessment. It doesn't mean you don't need sales and marketing help. It doesn't mean that sales and marketing course is not going to help you and give you information that you didn't know before, but it has to be prioritized. Because if you go over here because you were on the internet and somebody popped up and they said, hey, I got like 1,000 new clients and I didn't have to do any social media. And you go sign up for that because you're like, oh, wow, that sounds good. I need that. But you don't understand that over here, you need to work on a delivery. Guess what? Number one, it's always going to take you more time than you thought to be involved in a course or a coach. Always. It's been my experience. It always takes more time. It's not like, it's not going to be like, oh, I got a coach and now I know how to do this. No, boo. You're going to have to go through, you're going to have to do the same research. You're either going to do it before you hire a coach, you're going to do it after you hire a coach. But either way, you're going to have to do some work. And so if your business really to grow needs to be over here, you need to work on how you're going to deliver stuff. And you hire this sales and marketing person over here, guess what? You might get a bunch of customers, but because your delivery is so bad, because you needed help and you spend all your production help money over here on sales and marketing, guess what? You're going to lose those customers. Basically you need to consider them like guinea pigs for how you going to really do it when you got your act together, right? So I'm just saying, so the one thing you must do before you hire a coach, a consultant, a course, whatever, is just I'm not saying be a brain surgeon, but have an understanding of your business and how it works through some research that you do on the internet or wherever to understand the nature of your particular business. And then once you understand that, just make a decision on what area you want to focus on. And then you go look for training and courses and coaches in that area. And then ignore all the other coaches and stuff that are going to come at you for the stuff that you need, but you don't need right now. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, because I think it's really important. I was just thinking about it because there's a course that I bought, and I'm not perfect at this, right? But there's a course that I bought that I really want to get to, but I haven't been able to get to because I've been involved in other things. But the point is that I really needed to get that help. So now I got to go back and make sure that I've got, that's the other thing I forgot, is to make sure you have the time to do the thing. So make sure when you're investing in coaches or courses or consultants, make sure that you have a good understanding of the time commitment required and that you set aside time for that particular thing. Because that's where I kind of dropped the ball. It's like, oh yeah, I really need this. I need to do this. I've identified that this is the area I need to work on, but oh crap, I don't have time to do that. Right. So that's important too. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today. And you got to do this before you invest in a coach, a consultant, an online course or whatever. Get to know your business and identify your focus area, and then pursue help in the form of coaches, consultants, courses in the area that you're focusing in. Okay. And then hire the best one based on, trust. You think they can help you. All those things are important, but make sure that the first thing you do is you identify an area you're going to focus in and do that. Okay. So I hope that was helpful for you. If it was helpful, then definitely comment below the one area that you think you want to focus on, and reach out. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. And I am excited for your success. And I hope to see you next time on Lunch with Jewel. Bye for now.